And hello, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of The Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host, Jonathan, once again bringing you my thoughts and review for the return of Superman and Lois Season 2, Episode 10. And oh boy, what an episode this was. Because honestly, sorry, just had to pause this really quick. Because honestly, this episode might be the best episode yet, and also my favorite episode so far of the season. Okay, so we all know it took a break, a long break. So we had to wait a while for it to come back. So I went back and watched the previous episode. So we all know that last time's episode, before, tonight's episode, Superman had to deal with the fact that that cult lady, she finally got the necklace back. And she literally went into the bizarre world. So Clark had to go in there and try to stop her as best he can. Now, when he entered that bizarre world, and I can tell you from just watching this episode, seeing that world and what was in it made the bizarro kind of mirror world that happened in Smallville. If you guys remember Smallville, Clark went into that mirror world too. Make it look like it was Candyland. This one, completely horrible. Like, everything was like dark, gritty. The sun was red, so Superman couldn't really do anything. The only way he could become Superman if he injects, I guess, kryptonite to make him strong. So he had to take some cocktails, if you know what I mean, just so he can try to sustain his energy in there. I mean, if you were not born under the red sun, you don't got, your powers are pretty much useless in here. I'm talking about, like, yeah. And of course, the cult lady, she ended up meeting the other version of herself, and the two of them teamed up so that way they can become more powerful. And they had a following like there was no tomorrow. I'm talking about from senators all the way to, people from the DUO, military folks, anybody who will believe in her cause were with her, and also including Jonathan, which is pretty cool that we got to see like little chapters in here. We got to see little chapters of each character's transition and how they were dealing with that world. So we first got to see Superman. In that world, Superman was a mega star. He kind of reminded me of like how Bruce Wayne, he would go out into public and everybody loves Bruce Wayne. He's a playboy, he's everybody's favorite son of Gotham, kind of like that. Taking pictures with the finest people in the world. Everybody likes to see him. Kind of like that, but it was just Superman. Everybody loved him. But I think all that went to his head. He was taking pictures. He was taking cover of things, whatever it is. Everywhere he went, even as a hero, they would take pictures of Superman, and it looked like it got to his head. And you even get to see the transition of him turning from just being normal Superman to being the bizarro Superman that we met already from, Superman's normal Earth. So we eventually got to say, we also got to see a cool power, which is kind of like his ice breath, but instead of that, it's fire. So I thought that was pretty cool seeing that. We also got to see Jonathan's transition from being just, Superman's son to being Superboy, but take it into a whole nother level. We got to see that. That was pretty cool seeing his transition, kind of having to team up with his father, which was cool. He got used to it, and then of course trying to do his own thing, and then eventually joining the cult leader and joining her cause and trying to take out his own father, which was pretty interesting to see that. He completely cut them all off. Jordan looked like he didn't have any powers there, so yeah, Lois was all decked out and like and it all felt like punk rockers, like how punk rockers would wear the the hair down or whatever it is, the leather jackets or whatever kind of, wardrobe it is. And they actually all dressed like that. And it was actually pretty interesting seeing even Lois Lane kind of be like that, She didn't like the spotlight too much, but she embraced it and and she always called him Cal, which is very odd that she would call him that, because we all know Lois Lane, she calls him like Clark, So it was very interesting to see that she saw him as only as Cal. That was pretty interesting. We also got to see Morgan Edge in here. He was in here. He had powers. We also got to see the fact that he had a wife, which was Lana, and Lana Lang had powers. So that was pretty interesting seeing that. We got to see a pretty cool showdown between Superman, Morgan Edge, Lana, Superboy, and even the general from the from the original Earth, who we all thought who turned on Clark and the military, in fact was the mirror version of himself in that world, pretending to be him, and that's why we all thought in our minds, oh wow, this general turned and decided to work with the the cult lady, but I guess not. It was his mirror version. He shows up, kills his old version. He tries to kill his old self. He escaped, ends up helping Superman try to escape from that world to go back to his world because Superboy is now back in Superman's world. So what's gonna happen there? No idea. We did get to see a moment where the general from Superman's Earth tried to merge with his mirror version. So I don't know what that would have been like, but it looks like we might be seeing that with Jonathan. So either Jonathan's gonna turn, himself into the evil version, like by merging with each other. So I don't know what that's all about, but it was very, very good episode. I really, like I said, I enjoyed it. I like seeing each character's development and who they are. We got to see the other characters and how they deal with that. We didn't see Sam in this. We also didn't get to see. We saw a little bit of the general, Lois's father. We didn't see Lucy. Excuse me. So that was pretty interesting to see that, or didn't see that. But yeah. Overall, like I said, I thought this episode was very good. The action was cool. The story of this was really cool. We didn't see Lex, but he was mentioned in here. I thought, we would have said Lex Luthor or something, but he was mentioned. So Lex Luthor does exist in both worlds. So hopefully, a matter of time, we do eventually see him. We didn't see Steel, so that was interesting. We didn't see him, but it looked like in the Fortress we saw his suit, or maybe Lex's suit. So they exist somewhere in that Earth. So, but yeah, we didn't see him. We didn't see Natalie, his daughter, so we didn't see her either. But overall, like I said, very good episode. I enjoyed it, and I'm just glad it's back. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. And now what do you think is going to happen now that the mirror version of Superboy is now in Clark's real world? So what do you think is going to happen? You think he's going to go back to his world, put up a fight? You think Jonathan will get powers and try to help out his dad to take him out? Or maybe Jordan will do it? We'll see what happens. So leave a comment below. Let me know. Thank you very much, and have a good night.